On behalf of Brigadier General John Allen, Commander of the Air Force Civil Engineer Center, welcome to the 2020 United States Air Force Design Awards. This program, managed by the Air Force Civil Engineer Center, recognizes outstanding designs focusing on facilities that are not only visually appealing and highly functional, but also resource and energy conscious. The United States Air Force Design Awards program was established in 1976 to recognize and promote design excellence. Over its history, it has become a viable and important program that is institutionalized within the Air Force. It is widely recognized throughout the federal government and is supported by the enthusiastic participation of notable professionals in the private sector. Much more than simply an awards competition, the winning projects establish the benchmark of design excellence the Air Force expects for all of its facilities and installations. Each year, 3 levels of awards are given: the Honor Award, which is the highest achievement, the Merit Award, and the Citation Award. Let's take a look at this year's award-winning projects.
Our first award is an Honor Award in the Facility Renovations and Additions category. It is for the renovation of Building 32, located at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. Let's take a look at the project designed by the 88th Civil Engineer Group.
To support a major influx of positions for the Simulators Program Office, the team devised a unique 3-bay phased renovation approach to implement a hoteling-style office concept. Prior to renovation of a particular bay, personnel were relocated to predetermined temporary locations. They were then expeditiously returned to their respective renovated facilities. This approach enabled the program office to remain fully functional and allowed the design team to meet and exceed all critical milestones. The design team optimized the 3-bay 44,579 square feet of space and implemented an architectural layout that would promote an open communication environment and flexible hoteling workstations. This layout now accommodates 367 benching workstations, an increase of 20%, an increase of 38% of private offices with the addition of 11 and 27 teaming conference rooms for a 440% increase. There is also now a wide variety of flexible collaboration spaces. The redesign optimizes the Simulators Program Office operational use of teleworking as well as other variations in daily staffing levels. The project design team met or exceeded all functional objectives. The Simulators Program Office has been able to remain in Building 32 with new accommodations that are ergonomically sound, easily reconfigurable, and provides a working environment that promotes increased work productivity. Additionally, it will be able to sustain current and future growth needs for the foreseeable future.
Accepting the award for the 88th Civil Engineer Group is Mr. Scott Vincent. Accepting for Veterans Construction Coalition Joint Venture is Mr. John Waits. Accepting for RJE Business Interiors is Mr. David Bruni. And accepting for the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center Contract Execution Office is Mr. Michael Benincasa. Congratulations to the design team. Our next award is an Honor Award in the Landscape Architecture category, and it is for the Dyess Memorial Park at Dyess Air Force Base in Texas, designed by Vista Planning and Design. Here's a look at that project.
On October 2nd, 2015, at 0016 hours, a C-130J took off from Jalalabad, Afghanistan. Moments later, a tragedy occurred and 11 airmen lost their lives. Among them were 4 airmen from Dyess Air Force Base in Abilene, Texas. This was the latest loss for Dyess and Abilene. Led by the Military Affairs Committee of the Abilene Chamber of Commerce, the community banded together and raised money to build a memorial park dedicated to the brave men and women of Dyess Air Force Base that have lost their lives in the line of duty. Not only was this to honor the tragedy in Jalalabad, but to collectively honor all Dyess community members that have been lost over the years. The project would allow the base to collect monuments and plaques distributed across Dyess and Abilene and display them in one space, formalizing the honor they deserve. The concepts that were followed centered around one main theme: the sky and the light. With these elements and light's alter ego, shadow, and concept emerged where light would shine upon monuments of members lost. Unique to the design was orchestrating the timing of the illumination of each monument, which zeroed in on the anniversary of each incident. The design resulted in a semicircle stone colonnade, of which a portion carried a stone arc overhead, bridging the center series of columns. The arc was incised with sun slots, and the lower portion inscribed with a quote giving a solemn air of reflection on the space. The overhead epitaph was the focusing element channeling the shafts of sunlight on each monument at the precise tragic moment in day and time, represented by that monument. The memorial is not just a place of mourning, but also a space for celebration.
Accepting for Vista Planning and Design is Mr. Mitchell Wright. Accepting for Faulkner Construction is Mr. Joel Faulkner. Accepting for the Abilene Chamber of Commerce Military Affairs Committee is Mr. Gray Bridwell. And accepting for the 7th Civil Engineer Squadron is Lieutenant Colonel Rick Vermillion. Excellent work. Our next award is an honor award in the Facility Design category, and it goes to the U.S. Strategic Command Image and Interior Design Project at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. The winning entry was developed by Kenneth Hahn Architects. Let's take a look.
The commander of the U.S. Strategic Command requested a design for the main public spaces in the entry, visitor center, atrium, and command suite corridor that would express the essence of U.S. STRATCOM, its mission, and its people. The design includes an exhibit area that displays the history of Strategic Air Command, Strategic Command, its subsequent revisions, and its current missions. The entire atrium is used as a historical display with several models of communication satellites hanging from the ceiling. Other displays house the portraits of all SAC and STRATCOM commanders, along with inspirational messages throughout the spaces that reinforce the definition of what U.S. STRATCOM does. Special displays celebrate the command's best and brightest, and large photo murals give a look into the daily work of the staff. Collaborative furnishings add to the feeling of functionality and commodity. Durable materials were key to the design and selected for their long-term usability and ease of maintenance. The design team conducted an acoustical study that determined a need for a sound-absorptive surface at the ceiling level of the atrium for proper acoustical performance. This was accomplished by designing a prominent ceiling feature, which became a patriotic statement with a blue background to represent sky, and with deep blue around the outer areas representing night that incorporated acoustical materials. The sky area received a series of white illuminated stars, 50, with one for each state, which were arranged in a large circle. These were constructed out of a translucent fabric stretched over a metal frame for each individual star. The ceiling feature required structural support to be arranged through a series of steel tubing suspended from the roof beams as minimally visible as possible, requiring careful detailing. This is a one-of-a-kind space that required a unique solution. The resulting design successfully conveys a message to visitors and staff alike that is historical, educational, and inspirational.
Accepting for Kenneth Hahn Architects is Mr. Kenneth Hahn. Accepting for ProMark Services Incorporated is Mr. Cody Weber. Accepting for the design agent, U.S. Strategic Command, is Mr. Wayne Rabin. And accepting for the 55th Civil Engineer Squadron is Mr. Jerry Kotlick. Well done, team. Our last honor award is also in the Facility Design category. It is for the Flightline Fire Station at Edwards Air Force Base in California. The project was designed by IE Pacific Incorporated. Here's a look at that project.
This project replaced an existing fire station that was over 50 years old with inadequate space in the sleeping and living quarters, archaic infrastructure, and non-compliant clearances for firefighting vehicles. The project design requirements posed various challenges, including the fire station's combination use for supporting firefighting for both aircraft and structures. This dictated the configuration of the building plan, with separate apparatus bays to house the two types of firefighting vehicles and their location to either side of the central structure housing living, operational and support spaces, ensuring rapid response of firefighters to either bay, Required proximity to the airfield also created significant acoustical challenges, expertly addressed through mitigation measures for the roof deck, wall assemblies, and incorporating triple glazed window assemblies. The facility provides apparatus bays with the state-of-the-art utility systems and high-speed opening four-fold bay doors, improving rapid response to emergency calls as well as supplying natural light to the bay. To address challenges associated with the high desert climate, an interior courtyard was incorporated into the design, providing a sheltered area usable year-round as an extension of the living spaces and bringing natural light deep into the common areas. An innovative fast-track approach employed throughout design and construction compressed the overall project schedule by 5 months, requiring critical coordination among the team utilizing building modeling. The design skillfully meets the goal of supporting the military firefighters' mission to provide fire protection to the installation's flight line and facilities, as well as fire prevention education and training.
Accepting for the IE Pacific Incorporated is Mr. Michael Hernandez. Accepting for the Los Angeles District U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is Mr. Chad Allen. And accepting for the 412th Civil Engineer Group is Mr. James Judkins. Great teamwork. Our first merit award is also in the facility design category. It is given for the golf course clubhouse at Hill Air Force Base in Utah. The project was designed by Lee and Sakahara Architects Incorporated. Let's take a look.
The Hill Air Force Base Golf Course is one of the most utilized golf courses across the Air Force. The existing 40-year-old clubhouse was in need of significant structural repairs and long overdue updates to the functionality and layout. The time was right to design and build a new facility. Overcoming significant challenges with existing soils and maintaining operations during construction, the design successfully met all objectives, to include locating all services and required spaces on one level, improving the visibility of the pro shop to the tee boxes, optimizing the views, and incorporating a full kitchen. One of the innovative design approaches to this project was siting the building to mitigate or lessen the impact of constrictive force protection requirements. Situating the building so the large glass storefront windows faced away from the parking and the driveway helped the project avoid the expensive cost of special glazing and locating utilitarian parts of the building adjacent to parking. The result was a building perfectly sited to create stellar views of the fairways and the mountains from primary gathering areas. The new golf course clubhouse provides a functional, aesthetically pleasing facility set in a beautiful backdrop of distant mountains, clear horizons, and beautiful fairway views.
Accepting for Lee and Sakahara Architects Incorporated is Mr. Chris Teachman. Accepting for Guardian Construction Incorporated is Mr. Dave Poma. Accepting for the AF Services Center is Mr. Wallace Lindsay. And accepting for the 75th Civil Engineer Group is Mr. Jonathan Ramras. Congratulations to the team. Our second merit award is in the facility design category, and it goes to the Virtual Warfare Munitions Simulator Facility at Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. The project was designed by Bullock Tyson Associates. Here are the details on the project.
The Virtual Warfare Munitions Simulator Facility is a new single-story controlled access, immersive design center that creates a live, virtual, and constructive environment in support of Air Force Research Laboratory's next-generation weapons development. Future warfighting scenarios require interoperable and distributed systems across land, sea, and air. These nearly impossible live scenarios to recreate due to cost, manpower, security, and logistics issues. However, the environment can be replicated virtually in this facility. This facility holds a 43-person theater-style auditorium, which utilizes tiered console seating with computer consoles, which faces an IMAX-type screen with immersive audio and visual technologies. A significant portion of the remainder of the building handles classified information, requiring a controlled access environment. The building meets physical security standards for secure areas and includes state-of-the-art classified conference rooms and separate programming areas. The design successfully connects all AFRL directorates via one virtual environment, bringing together all fields of expertise to research, develop, and explore new technologies together with the munitions portion of their program. Prior to this project, there were no facilities supporting these requirements of bringing together the multiple disciplines required to develop new technologies to win in future highly contested warfighting scenarios. The only realistic means to recreate this future warfighting environment is virtually, thereby saving cost and reducing manpower, along with reducing logistics and security impacts. Just one net-centric exercise alone equals the cost of constructing and outfitting this facility. This facility offers a cost-effective, secure means to research and study warfighter solutions in the current environment, supporting a more collaborative approach to future warfighting solutions by integrating multiple disciplines into one virtual environment, thereby reducing cost. The unique nature and location of this new building allowed some degree of freedom in the exterior appearance of the building while artfully integrating the base's color and material schemes. This project successfully provides a 21st solution to virtually replicate future warfighter scenarios while meeting cost and energy performance goals, as well as architectural compatibility objectives.
Accepting for Bullock Tyson Associates is Mr. Mike Fox. Accepting for Lord & Sons Incorporated is Mr. Spike Lord. Accepting for the Mobile District U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is Miss Antonia Ortiz. And accepting for the 96th Civil Engineer Group is Mr. Richard Stokes. Congratulations, everyone. Our final award for the 2020 program is a Citation Award in the Facility Design category. It is for the KC-46A Flight Training Center at Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma. The project was designed by Burns & McDonnell Engineering Company, Incorporated. Let's take a look.
The KC-46A Flight Training Center at Altus Air Force Base was designed to serve as the formal training unit for the new KC-46A mission. This new facility was designed for specific needs of the new aircraft and training mission and supports 48 trainees, along with their instructors, security, network support, maintenance, and administrative staff needed to support the mission. The new aircraft requires advanced training on high-tech simulators, emphasizing the importance of simulator-based training in the Air Force. An aggressive completion schedule and future expansion requirements impacted every aspect of the design. To meet these challenges, the facility was sited to allow for ease of delivery for the multi-million-dollar simulator equipment and thoughtfully designed to reduce future expansion costs and disruptions. Keeping the simulators in operation is critical to the training mission. To provide flexibility for operational needs, the simulator bay housing all 4 simulators was designed with large overhead doors to accommodate the installation. Removable translucent panels were incorporated on the exterior of the overhead door openings to provide a more thermally efficient building envelope when overhead doors are not being used, also allowing natural daylighting to reduce operation costs and to support LEED Silver certification. The building's massing uses simple forms to create a prominent presence on base and virtually establish the KC-46A training campus. The simple geometry of the building allows for efficient function and circulation while offering flexibility for expansion. The brick veneer finish with soldier coursing bands and metal wall panel accents above are also base standards. An accent band of translucent wall panel at the top perimeter of the high bay space provides natural light in the bay and lightens the heavy massing of the high bay, with this project being one of the key training components for the new KC-46A mission. A new Air Force design standard was developed with flexibility to accommodate differing base standards. The facility successfully implements the new standard design at Altus with few changes, strong visual compatible with surrounding facilities, and adaptable to future expansion.
Accepting for Burns & McDonnell is Miss Amy Clement. Accepting for Ross Group is Mr. Warren Ross. Accepting for the Tulsa District U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is Mr. David Gurley. And accepting for the 97th Civil Engineer Squadron is Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Thomas. Outstanding job, team. That concludes our presentation of this year's Air Force Design Awards. General Allen will now share some closing remarks.